What is up, wrestling fans? Welcome to a pay-per-view-point edition of the Smark Out Moment Smack Talk podcast. Because the WWE NXT Stand and Deliver pay-per-view just ended, we are immediately rolling into the pre-show for WrestleMania Saturday. But nevertheless, I am Tony Mango, here to bring you my very quick thoughts on this pay-per-view. We will, of course, break this down a little bit more in detail at another point. Probably going to do something maybe on Tuesday night or so, where maybe like Rob and I will get together and we'll do like a little dark cast or something. We'll kind of like dissect the reactions post Tuesday's NXT to go along with this as well, and probably also talk about some other WrestleMania things too, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing the WrestleMania one solo for these post shows. Nevertheless, got to get that stuff out of the way. Remember that if you are joining us in the live chat, which I'm all over the place right now for different things on my screen right now. I do see Peter's in there. What's up, Peter? And some other people filing in very quickly in the meantime. I, of course, am planning on breaking down all the results that happened right now, and we're going to do that in like very speedy fashion because I know everybody wants to. Well, I mean, yeah, most people don't watch the pre-shows, but I don't want to take that away from anybody else as well. So, Stand and Deliver 2025, as like I said, just went down. I thought it was a pretty damn good pay-per-view. I keep saying pay-per-view instead of premium live event, but I'm trained one way or another when it comes to that. I'm feeling good based off of this event for WrestleMania, which of course it doesn't really necessarily have anything to do with that. And it could be like that this was very good and WrestleMania today blows. Might be way better. I don't know. Who knows? But I enjoyed this quite a bit, and pretty much from start to finish. So starting things off was the Fatal 4-Way Elimination Tag Team Match #1 Contenders scenario, where the winners would get a title shot on Tuesday for NXT for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. That was Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. They were the first eliminated. Second eliminated was Roxanne, Perez, and Cora Jade. Interestingly enough, I'm talking all stupid today. Interestingly enough, because there was a scenario where Roxanne just walked out on Cora. So they were together, they split, they were together, they split, they were together. They're the on and off again couple when it comes to this. I don't really like how they did this because there wasn't enough of a catapult for her to want to leave the match in my mind. So there's going to be some kind of match, I'm assuming, between those two. It's probably going to be Roxanne's last match in NXT before she goes up to the main roster. I would assume that would be the best way for them to write her NXT career off, and then Cora sticks around or something. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. They were the second eliminated, though, and then Fatal Influence lost. So Gigi, Dolin, and Tatum Paxley are getting that title shot, which then makes me immediately go, okay, well then Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are retaining tomorrow. I said that before. I said if Paxley and Dolin win, or if the Meta Girls win, that it's probably just going to be Liv and Raquel retaining. The only way that I would have been able to see a Bayley and Lyra Valkyria win would have been if Roxanne and Cora would have won. So I'm anticipating that. We'll see how that happens tomorrow. But I thought this was a pretty good match. It's nice to see Shotzi back in the mix, and you know, it's always good when they incorporate all these different storylines and kind of mesh things up and stuff. So for a pre-show match, which everything should have matches on the pre-show, especially when we're right now getting into the 3-hour pre-show for WrestleMania, it's kind of crazy. As we roll along here, though, to the main card and stuff like that, very quickly, I want to mention some of the promotional stuff. Make sure that you are joining us for the Discord server that we have, and chat it up throughout WrestleMania, and, you know, of course, beyond WrestleMania too. But that is where, you know, we kind of moved away from the Facebook group, the Mega Maniacs, on, you know, Facebook, because Facebook, like, less and less people are using it. It's more and more frustrating to be on that platform and all. The Discord gives us more flexibility too for different things. So join the Discord. I highly recommend that. The more people that are on there, the better that we can keep the discussion going and stuff. And keep in mind as well, if you want to help support this channel and the website and Fanboys Anonymous by proxy, hit the like button on this video, subscribe, ring that notification bell, especially when it comes to the post show for later on tonight and tomorrow. Pick up merchandise on Redbubble and TeePublic. Sign up for the Patreon, patreon.com/smarkoutmoment or /Fanboys Anonymous. And click on the join button as well to subscribe to the YouTube channel through the membership side of things. If you're on the live chat right now, you got super chats to make sure that I'm paying attention to any of this kind of stuff. I see that I am Josh on there doing coverage for this as well, and this is hectic. Yeah, imagine doing Smark Out Moment, e-wrestling news, and the Ring Report coverage, and some news reports, and notes for a podcast, and the heel and face turn. Of course, people ever jump on that immediately, and then the current champions breakdown, and the future champions prediction, and the list of the title reigns. You jump it all around all the place today for that. So Peter's saying, do you think that Rey is competing tonight? Absolutely not. Mysterio, I should say. Rey Mysterio is not competing tonight. There's no way. If he got carried out last night, he's not going to be able to compete tonight. So I'm anticipating he's going to be replaced by Rey Fenix instead. I would be totally down for them just nixing that match entirely from the card and putting Chelsea Green in there, or putting the TLC match. But of course, they didn't go ahead and do that. They're not going to replace it with the TLC match. Maybe they'll replace it with Chelsea, but I think more than likely it's Rey Fenix is going to be in his place. We do have the pre-show going on right now. I'm not paying a whole lot of attention to it, but I'm going to be looking up every once in a while. So sorry for that, everybody. Back to Stand and Deliver. So the main card started off with Ricky Saints against Ethan Page for the NXT North American Championship. Ricky Starks. I'm always going to call him Ricky Starks. It's going to take forever. And at least it's not Ricky Staines when I'm typing it out. Saints retains in a match that I thought was the weakest of the whole show. And I don't know if maybe they don't have necessarily the best chemistry together, or maybe somebody was off tonight or something, but I was disappointed in this, and I was pleasantly surprised about pretty much every other match. So this was the downer. It's not like a downer in the sense of me being like it's a bad match or anything, but I thought that it was mostly underwhelming. They might be announcing something with Rey right now. I'm not too sure. Again, I have this on mute because I don't want to get any kind of copyright infringement and stuff. So now I'm saying Staines. Saints retains over Ethan Page. I pretty much saw that coming from a mile away, and it's just a matter of whether or not they want to move on going forward with somebody else like Alexis King or Wes Lee or Eddie Thorpe. They'll probably go and bounce around between those guys and stuff. I could see Wes Lee winning the championship back at some point. I could see a lot of other people potentially getting in the mix, but for now, Saints needed to retain, so it made perfect sense. Surprised by Hank Walker and Tank Ledger winning the NXT Tag Team Championship. I honestly was thinking more so that Fraxiom was going to retain, even though there was a part of me that was thinking it makes more sense to just have a bunch of title changes. But then again, we didn't get some other title changes that I thought was going to happen. So Hank and Tank put on a way better show than I was expecting. They got the crowd eating out of the palm of their hands. They were a lot of fun. This match was great, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. So I'm a big fan of the match. I am not the biggest fan right now of putting the belts on Hank and Tank. The Belly Boys, I think that's what they're kind of calling themselves a little bit as a nickname now. They are not tag team champions I can imagine are really going to hold them for like a super long time frame. I kind of can't picture who the next champions are going to be at this point either. So I'm a little bit concerned that maybe we're going to be in a little bit of a doldrums for the tag team division, but I'm very happy to be proven wrong when it comes to that stuff. So we'll see what Hank and Tank have to show, but good on them, And Cole said that Rey versus Americana was still on. Okay, maybe it was just like a weird thing with his ankle, and then they rehabbed it already or something. I don't know. There was a backstage thing because Alexis King wasn't on this show as far as defending the Heritage Cup. Instead, he lost to the Heritage Cup by proxy of Penn and Teller because they're in Las Vegas. So Penn did the lamest magic trick you could possibly get, which is you cover something up with a big sheet with just an obvious back to it that you can remove, and somebody can just move it out of the way. And then, it's gone. So he didn't get it back. And I guess that's going to continue on into Tuesday. So that's the thing. It's better than nothing for Alexis King. Although if, things were better, I think that he would be involved in something else. Then they had the women's ladder match for the vacated NXT Women's North American Championship. That was Sol Ruca winning the title. Now, Sol Ruca beats the group of people that was here: Thea, Hale, Zaria, Lola Vice, Kelani Jordan, and Izzi Dame. And I was saying beforehand that I didn't think that she was going to win because she just won the women's speed championship. And even though they don't put that on anything other than speed and they don't pay any attention to that whatsoever, I figured, well, why would they give her that championship if they know that they're going to give her this other championship? It just kind of seems a little bit strange. Well, they decided to anyway. And I had also said ahead of time that if that wasn't the case, that I would have picked her to be the winner because I wanted her to be the winner. She makes the most sense to me out as far as everybody. Like, she's proven herself a little bit more than some of the other people. Like, Izzi Dame hasn't really been around super long. Kelani's already held the title. Thea Hale, I'm a big fan of, but she just returned. Zaria could very well be a perfect champion right now too, but Lola Vice, I haven't been digging her, and she's been around longer than Sol Ruca, so she's had more opportunities, and I'm liking Sol Ruca better. So I like that she won. I liked the match. I thought that there were some good moments here and there, like Sol flipping herself backward to get back on top of the ladder. I thought Izzi Dame had a very good showing here. They all pretty much had a pretty good showing, but I saw more out of Dame than I am familiar with, seeing in the past that I'm like fond of. So good on everybody involved. Good match. Good outcome. Thumbs up in my book. What do we have next? Dark State beat the Family. And it was a fun enough match, but here's my issue with it. I don't ever understand why people turn on their partners during the match. And this happened twice on the show. If Stacks had some kind of an issue with Tony D, he should turn on him after they lose the match and be like, like, you weren't listening to me, and that's why we lost the match. Not, you're not listening to me, or you're not showing me respect, or whatever it might be. So I'm going to cost myself and you the match. Doesn't make any sense to me. But then again, it's pro wrestling, and it barely has any kind of logic as it is. So Stacks has turned heel by doing this. He hasn't revealed why he did this, but they did have a thing later on where he told Luca Crusifino that he would tell everything on Tuesday. So that's pretty much as we expected. Dark State, not involved in the main event, only did this thing. They're not looking great. I gotta say that. They're looking more and more like they're just Retribution. And I'm kind of giving up on these guys. I think that they need to just break this group up, and they need to just make them all individuals. Maybe I'm going to be wrong on that. Maybe they got something else planned that's going to change it around. But right now, I am like, this was where I was like, okay, they need to do something with Dark State, and they didn't. So it's not great. We had the Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT Women's Championship next. Stephanie Vaquer retains over Julia, Jordan Grace, and Jada Parker, all the J sounds. And I loved the match. I am a little bit surprised that Vaquer retained, because I did think that Julia was going to win the championship by proxy of pinning Jada Parker, then that would kind of continue the story. So since Vaquer just pinned Parker instead, maybe they can get around doing another thing with Julia and being like, well, you didn't pin me, but even though she already pinned her in the previous match or something. I don't know how they really want to plan to shuffle the deck a little bit, but Vaquer is great, and she's been doing a fantastic job. So they all had a great match. They all had a great showing. Jada Parker showed up. Jordan Grace showed off her power. Julia, of course, she's proven herself, and Vaquer is like arguably deserving to be in this spot because she is, probably the best on the roster too. So I liked how this went, and I'm curious about the future. Thumbs up on that front too. I liked that Vaquer did the Devil's Kiss multiple times, and at the end of that, people were chanting for Booker T. It was pretty funny. That's the main event, though. After that, Obafemi retains the NXT Championship over Javon Evans and Trick Williams. Nice match. All of them had a great showing again. Javon in particular, I think, was really like the standout of this match, and that should go a long way in making it to where it's like, okay, well, you should give this guy a championship pretty soon. Right now, you can't give him the North American title because Ricky Saints has it, but maybe you want to give him the Heritage Cup. Maybe you want to do something else. I don't know, but I think that he's got a really bright future. All these guys do. I mean, Femi's great, and I like Trick too. So, nice main event. I'm a little bit surprised that Trick didn't win the championship because I was predicting him. And I did think, of course, that Dark State was going to come out, so I was dead wrong about that too. just ends up being that Obafemi retains. So again, I don't know where they're going from here, but I'm interested because I'm enjoying the people that are involved. So all in all, very good pay-per-view. And I will, I guess, see you guys, in a little bit, a couple hours or so, more than a couple hours, many hours from now, it seems, for the next pay-per-view point post show, which is going to be WrestleMania 41 Saturday. We're going to break down everything that's happening now. They're talking about Jacob Fatu and LA Knight or something. So, it's time for me to go over to the pre-show and continue to watch that stuff. But keep in mind, all the coverage on smark.moment.com, eWrestling News, and the Ring Report, it's all going to be up there for the WrestleMania side of things too. Go back and check out anything else regarding NXT, Stand and Deliver. Check out all the other things that are coming your way. Share your support in any way that you can. Facebook, Twitter, Discord, whatever it might be, all along that front. Go to the Linktree stuff. Let me put that up on the screen. Go to amangotree.com or anthonymango.com, and you'll see the links for everything that you should be following. Go ahead and do that. And then anything else that happens along this NXT side of things, we'll talk about that when we come to the next Darkcast or, whatever it is that we end up doing in the future, and some kind of means for me to get Rob's opinion about there for this too. I think that's it. I don't have a whole lot of time because I do want to watch this pre-show and make sure that this all gets sorted out and stuff, and I want you guys to be able to as well. So I'm going to upload all this stuff. We're going to continue on with the rest of the coverage. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all your support, and I'll see you soon. But for now, this has been another Smark Out moment. I'm being counted out.